friends, it's Joanne coming to you today with a Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop layout, and I'm using this awesome new cut file. It's called Flower Garden. Isn't it beautiful? I totally love Word cut files because they're super easy to back and they make your title already for you. They pretty much do all the work for your whole layout. This is going to be something quick and easy for you to scrap lift. Here we go. I had a request from a couple of my friends on my YouTube channel here to show you how I back my cut files. So I did most of it and then I left these three things. So what I do is I pick, you can do all different, a different pattern in each one of the letters if you want to. I like to alternate. So green, pink, blah, blah, blah. And then because this is pink, I'm going to start with green up above it and then go backwards, if that makes sense. Okay. So I'm using Carta Bella Sunflower Market. Look how beautiful that is. I am obsessed with Carta Bella paper. You just want to touch it. Okay. So we need green, pink, green. So these are the two patterns that I used. Okay. Oh, there's a stray gem. I was wondering where that went. I was putting the little honeybee stamp gems in the middle of my flowers and I flung like 4 of them across the room with my tweezers. I was like, no. So I'm using these two. So what you do is, most important, is always keep your negative pieces from your cut file right onto your cutting mat, and you're going to need those. I always use these pieces to make my pattern paper cutouts to glue to the back of my cut files because it's just so much easier, I think, and it comes out way neater. So we're on green, so let's do the W. So you just go ahead and grab your W, and I always use my little silhouette cameo knife there because I don't want to rip it. Okay, so we need green. So as you can see here, you're going to need, the way I do it, there's different ways to back things. You're going to need a napkin, a pen, tweezers, glue, and some nice sharp scissors. Okay, so you say, I want the green to show, and you'll pull this out and it goes this way, right? So you're going to want to flip your paper, and then you're going to want to flip your negative piece. And then here's that, and I need to get my glasses. Can't believe I just tried to do that without my reading glasses. Okay, so pen, pencil, whatever you want to use, it doesn't matter because you're never going to see this. So you just take it and you are going to trace the outside of your negative piece, even though it's going to look super funny because the entire W is not there. And see what I just did twice? I went off the side of the paper and went and drew on the negative of my cut file. And this is why I prefer to do it this way, because if you make a mistake like that, it's not going to matter because nobody's ever going to see it. And then I will cut the little piece of paper out, make it easier for yourself to fussy cut. Let me see if I can get really close here. All right, now see your lines right here? You're going to want to cut around it and leave like that much around because you need something to glue this to onto the white part of your cut file. And I always round my corners, and I'm just going to talk while I do this. I always round my corners because I don't like it to be a sharp edge when I go to put it on the back of my cut file, because I can see it and I can feel it, and like that, and that you're going to end up having to cut it off anyways. So you're always going to leave a border around the outside of your pen or pencil mark. And again, it's on the back. It doesn't matter if you have a straight line or not. Nobody's ever going to see it. So you just go like this, and then here we go, we're almost there. And I just go slow, don't rush yourself, enjoy the process. Okay, so this is going to go here, right? So now you're going to flip your cut file. See the hot mess we got going on back here? It doesn't matter. Nobody can see it. So the part that you want to see, you're going to face away from you, down. And the part that you don't want to see, you're going to be looking at. So then I take I always use glue. It's too hard to get ATG on these little teeny lines. Okay, get the air bubble out of that. And you're going to want to draw just a little line all the way around where you're going to want to adhere that pattern paper onto the back of your cut file. And I like, this is called the fine line bottle. There's different styles. I like this one. It's bigger. It's super easy to use and get the glue out. I got this at scrapbook.com. I know you can buy just the tips and put those on your regular glue bottles if you wanted to. I don't think all glue goes through this, so make sure you check the gauge of the needle. And then again, look at the part you don't want to see facing you. And then I always use my tweezers because I don't want glue on my hands. I want to be able to move it and just go ahead and set it down. Then paper towel, I always go like this. And I get the excess glue that seeps out from the side. And when you do this, you don't have to be super careful about where you're putting your glue down because you're just going to dab it up anyways. And then I turn it around right away and I dab the other side because sometimes the glue does seep out. I don't want to see it, and I don't want to see a shiny area after the glue dries. See? Cute, right? All right, let's do the other two. Same thing. Now we're going to go in with the pink, and I'm going to grab the L off my cut file. I want to see this, so I flip it. The L goes this way, so you flip it. Look at, there's bees on this paper. This is the only time you're ever going to hear me say this, so you better mark it down on the calendar. This bee paper is super cute. I have never said that before in my life. I don't like bees. They're very important. They can fly around all over the place as long as they stay away from me. I always cut it out of the paper just to make it easier for myself. And again, you're going to leave that much. Let me see. Make it better for you to see. That much. I round the corners. And then I'm going to leave this one super long because then I know it's going to go over the white part. And then I'm going to show you a different way to back cut files too. That'll make sense what I just said in a moment. So round this. Now that is way too much. Oh, I think we're fuzzy. On the top there, that's too much. But I'm going to leave it there because I want to show you how I cut things if you back in a different manner. Okay, so well, we're going to flip this, and now we can throw the negative piece in the recycle bin because we don't need it anymore. Got our glue. Let me just double check I did do the right color, right? Yep. All right. And you glue right around the whole white, so you just look, and you sometimes it's hard to see exactly where you're supposed to be gluing, so if you flip it around and double check. So even though I already put some paper here, it still needs to adhere to this part here. So I'm going to go ahead and put more. And let me show you after I'm done with this exactly how much glue I am putting down, because you don't want to do too little because it won't stick, and you don't want to do too much because then it'll get all over the place. So just about like that. Let's see if I can get even closer. Okay. And again, I always pick up with my tweezers because I can't stand the feel of glue on my fingers, even though it's always there. And then if you use your napkin, that way if you have any glue or ink or anything on your hands, you're not going to transfer it onto your cut file. And you can cut your cut files in white paper and then back it with pattern paper, or you can do the reverse. You can cut it on any color paper you want. And again, I turn it and see there's a little bit of glue there. Oop, let me move that. Okay, I'm going to dab that up. I usually do it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, depends on when you get it. And then see how the paper is coming above the L? Okay, this is what I do. I always take my fussy cutting shears and I try to hold it Now, a lot of people try to grab it and fussy cut up against the white. I never do that because you can't fussy cut perfect. I don't know anybody but Laura Alberts that knows how to fussy cut like an expert, seriously. So what you do, I'm trying to see how I can get this up here for you to see. All right, so what you do is you put your scissors there. You're not going to go like this. You're going to tilt it and go in between the pattern paper and the cut file, and then just cut it off. That way you're not cutting the edge of your cut file and ruining your cut file, because I never get it absolutely perfect and I always end up cutting a little bit of my cut file off and then it doesn't look right. Okay, so now we're back to green. And again, you guys, if you know how to back a cut file, fast forward through to the rest of the layout because this is super quick, fun, and easy. You can mark this one down and use it for yourself. We're going to do green this time. Flip your paper, flip your letter, or any piece of a cut file. It can be a flower. Same thing. Always flip and flip. I prefer to do it that way because I think it looks nicer. It's easier for me than to just glue the back of a cut file and lay it on a big piece of paper and then cut it out. I don't enjoy doing that. It's just not something I like to do. So this I prefer. So I could have glued this entire flower down to a piece of paper and then come in and gone like this, but I didn't. I literally cut out every single one of the petals and glued them down just like I'm showing you now, because I like it better that way, and I think it comes out more perfect in the front that way. One more, rounding the corners so we don't have a sharp edge, like this. And some of the letters are going to have the middles, like the R and the D here and the A. So what you do with that is when you put those in the back, you trace around the inside right here as well. And then I just poke my scissors through the middle of it and make a little tear, and then do the exact same thing I'm doing right now in there too. And then that's where you keep your little teeny negative piece. See, I think that's too thick. Your little teeny negative piece, this right here, right here, right here, and right there. And then you glue that back onto the circle or the shape here that you've cut out, okay? So here we go. We are almost done with this. Yay. And again, gluing just around where you need it. Oh, I left my top off too long. If you get one of these and it dries up because you left it off too long, all you have to do is put the top back in, go like this a couple times, and you're good to go. Okay, thin line of glue. Another important thing is if you do glue your cut file straight to a piece of pattern paper and you do prefer to cut it out with your scissors, leave it alone for a minute. Let it dry first, because if your glue is not all the way dry, it's just going to make it harder for you, and then it's not going to stick down all the way. So now I'm going to put this back on here because I am done. So I'm going to take this. I use my tweezers so I can hover. Make sure I'm straight up here and down here. Just like so. That way you can still move things over just a little bit if you had to, because you don't have to be perfect. I'm gonna grab my napkin, come in and get my glue off here. And I can still see that there's some there, so I'm gonna keep doing this until I'm happy that it's all gone. And then come to the front. And me being me, I can see right there and right there that I went off the edges a little bit. So that's where I come in. I come underneath. And again, I'm not going straight at it like this. I'm tilting my scissors like this. I'm trying not to rip this flower off right here. I'm getting my scissors underneath the cut file, not on the side of it. And I'm just going to try to get in there with the tip of my scissors and clear away that one little teeny piece right there that I can see. And then up here, I think there's some up there too. So I'm going to come in, slide this in between the scissors, slide my scissors in between the cut file and the pattern paper, and just take a little sliver off because I can see it. And that's just, I'm super picky, and you're going to be able to see it, especially if you use a whitish background. So there. Okay. Perfect. Let me clear this out the way. And you know what? I'm going to put my top back on these because these are super sharp. And Sophie Marie is in here with me. Okay, see how pretty that is? I love this cut file. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, you can put your cut files down flat. You can raise them up on foam if you want to. I have not yet decided which one of those two I'm going to do. And you can just see where you want it on your layout. And I'm thinking this N should be straight along the line of this paper here, even though the bottom of this R and the bottom of the G are not at the same level. But this is hanging out by itself, so if this looked like that, you would totally be able to tell. Over here, you're not going to be able to tell. I hope that made sense. Maybe down here to the bottom of the page a little bit. And this is going to be fun, super easy. This is a picture of my baby girl. This picture is super, super old. As a matter of fact, it's 18 years old, taken with one of those cameras that we thought were just amazing back 18 years ago. But so it's a little fuzzy, but it's when she was a baby, and I probably think she might have been 10 or 12 weeks old here, and she just celebrated her 18th birthday last week. So I'm so excited, and she's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with her. My vet is like, I can't even believe it. I'm like, good, you know, because you never want anything to happen to your babies. So I'm trying to think here. I'm super, super picky, and let me just tell you how and why, because I am. But see how this matches up right here with the R? Really, really nice. Let me lift and show you what I mean. See how it matches up with the R? If I didn't put it there, and I slid it over a little bit, the corner of that would be sticking out, and that would bug me. It might be perfectly fine, but it would just bug me. So I'm going to put my picture just like that. And maybe up a little bit more, like right there. Okay. Thinking this would look really cute up on some fun foam. But anyways, I've got honeybee stamped gems, and from this collection they have little frames. I thought I'd put one of those. This is a metal die. I don't know where I got this from. I know I got it on scrapbook.com. It might be Lawn Fawn. And I just used a scrap. I knew I was going to tuck it, so I didn't mind that the bottom half of it didn't come out well, because I'm not going to see it, right? So it's a good way to use your scraps. And then I thought I would take this and just slide it in there for a little something. Then this was some scraps. I was playing around with a punch that I have from Creative Memories. So I did it in green and the pink and white gingham. And I took the pink one and I offset it over one to the right from what the punch is. And I was wondering if I can just slide this up here. I think that would look cute. So if we just do that. And then, yeah, I'm going to cut it when I'm done, but something like that. Coming in with very few embellishments. Very few. That's crazy for me because you know how I am. I have metal die, three metal die leaves, 2 branches, one going left, one going right, and then this one's got some awesome detail in it. Can you see that? Isn't that cute? Glue all over my fingers, of course. Sorry about that. This is a metal die flower I made. Put honeybee stamped gems in the middle. And then this is a metal die too. It's just a 3-layered butterfly that's super duper cute. Now, I did put green honeybee stamp gems in the middle because I just thought it would bring out some more of the green from the picture and the pattern paper from this awesome cut file. So all I'm going to do is, let me see, we have this coming up here. Let me use my tweezers because, like I said, I have glue all over my hands from doing the cut file. I could actually press pause and wash my hands, but why bother? All right, I didn't like that, so I want the leaf to go this way towards her. And then I'll put this flower here. And then this one, should I have it going like this? So now if I just did one of these, it's just a different leaf that gives it a little bit more character. Doesn't that look much better? I just used this leaf set in another layout this month too, so I obviously love it. So there you go. I am done. Now I am thinking that I either want to do enamel dots, which I think I'm going to do enamel dots because there's already enough bling on here with the honeybee stamp gems. Gotta cut that. Done. So I just love using cut files because I barely did any work at all on the actual layout. I mean, it does take a hot minute to back the cut file, but again, word cut files are super easy. I'm pressing down my honeybee stamp gems just to make sure they don't pop off. It took me longer to put foam on this than it did to put the layout together. So not too bad. Now I'm going to put a picture of the free cut file for May at the end of the video, and in the description box is how you get your free cut file. Okay, so every month Virginia Walker is going to have a free cut file, and you just add it to your cart and you put the code in. It's all in the description box below, and every month the cut file is different and free every time you place an order. Okay, I'm going to put close-ups at the end. Please visit the Confessions of a Paper Addict website and join our Facebook group. Everything is linked below that I used today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good day.